What's up, guys? I hope that you're ready because I'm spicy today. We're just gonna warn you. We're just gonna say that. But today, on today's episode of the Bodhiverse, I have my wonderful friend, the punk rock witch. My words aren't working very well either. I'm gonna let her give you a rundown about her, but let me tell you that when I asked her what topic she could nerd out about forever, she said dreamwalking, and I was like, "Oh, bitch, we're friends. Yes, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that." So, y'all ask a lot of questions about this topic, so I'm super excited to talk about it, especially with somebody else who knows about it, because most people don't. So, before we get too far in there, you tell everybody about you, all the things about you.
I'm Gina, punk rock witch online. I've been doing divination ever since I was a child. I've been super fascinated with that and mythology ever since childhood. My first experience with dreamwalking, I was also a child. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Had no idea what it was until later on in life, right? I'm originally from Philly. I bounced back, Philly, Delaware. I also lived in Berks County, Pennsylvania, amongst all of the Pennsylvania Dutch witches. So that was an interesting 10 years, needless to say.
Mm-hmm.
I also lived at the beach for a while, and that's where I grew a huge passion for sea magic, ocean magic, and all of that. So I'm really super into that still, and I can't be more than 30 minutes away from a beach.
See, I'm that way with mountains. I have this irrational fear of sharks. And so I'm like, you know what? Something ate me in a past life because it is like uber irrational. I don't understand. But I grew up in Colorado, and so like church was the mountains, man. Like we didn't go anywhere on the weekends except somewhere way the fuck up there. So I need to be close to trees and at least hills. And I love that you spend a lot of time in Pennsylvania because I just bought property up there. I went up there a couple years ago, a little bit northwest of Philadelphia for a TV show. And I was like, none of y'all told me how pretty it was up here. And I should be up here when it's 200 degrees in Oklahoma in the summer because fuck that.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful place. Absolutely. I lived in Chester County and fell in love with that area. I never wanted to move from there ever.
Oh, really? So is that more like Philadelphia area?
It is the suburbs of Philly. It's
Okay.
on the outskirts.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't gotten to really explore Philadelphia very much. I haven't even got to explore Pittsburgh very much, but South Central PA, man, it's so pretty. It's so pretty, and all the haunted places and the history and so on. And so then you're not. So how far are you from Pittsburgh? How long would, like, if you were to get in your car and drive, how long would it take you to get to Pittsburgh from where you are?
That would probably be about between a 5 and 6 hour drive, depending on the day.
Okay, so not crazy far.
No, no.
Okay, we'll talk later. We'll talk off camera.
I have friends in Pittsburgh. I've spent a lot of time in Pittsburgh, so very familiar with the area. I can drive around without a GPS.
Not me. I actually have not gotten to go into Pittsburgh at all. I bought an almost 200-year-old church and cemetery about 45 minutes north of Pittsburgh. And so
Oh, incredible.
I'm up there all the time. I love it. I haven't been in a couple months, and I'm like, I should go back. Like, I should go visit before it snows, like, so. But okay, we're getting off topic because now I'm talking about talking about pretty places. So let's talk about dreamwalking, because whenever I reached out to her and we were talking about, what we were going to talk about here on the podcast, when she said dreamwalking, I was like, oh yeah, let's talk about that. And one of the things that I brought up to her was that I have known more than a couple of people that think it's okay. I want to start with the ethics of it. I mean, we're going to discuss what it is, because I know some of y'all are like, bitch, what is it? But the ethics of it, because it can be something that you can absolutely fuck somebody up with. But I'm just going to give a quick overview for y'all that don't know what dreamwalking is, and then I would love to hear about some of your first experiences with it, because it does manifest as a child. So those of you guys that don't know what dreamwalking is, this is different than lucid dreaming. This is where you actively can go into someone else's dreams. So some of you guys immediately, your hair is standing up because you're like, whoa. It happens as a kid, and usually it's you go to school and you're like, you were in my dream, we were at the park, and your friend's like, really, you were in my dream and we were at the park. And so it starts to happen like that. So what was your first time, or the first time that you remember that something in your head was like, oh, I was in your dream?
Actually, the first time I ever had an experience with it was on my 7th birthday.
Oh,
My
wow.
grandfather passed away 16 days before that.
Uh-huh.
He was building me a dollhouse for my birthday, and he never got to finish it, and he
Oh.
passed away. And I was in my room, and I saw the hall light turn on, and my bedroom door was shut, but I could see the glow. And then my bedroom door opened, and I looked, and it was him walking in, and I could smell the smell of his pipe. And he sat down on the edge of my bed, and he's like, I'm really sorry I didn't get to finish your dollhouse, but let's go do something fun. And we went to a carnival, and he turned on the Ferris wheel, and we got on the Ferris wheel together, and we were getting on all of these rides. And he brought me back home, he tucked me in bed, he kissed me on my forehead, and then he left. I woke up the next day, I completely forgot about the dream right off the bat. But then my mom was driving me into school, and I saw carnival rides that were shut down and folded up and packed up
Mm-hmm.
in the parking lot of the church near us, and it made me remember Pop Pop was in my dreams last night, and he took me to a carnival for my birthday. And my mom just started busting out crying. It was like, oh my
Aww.
god, no, 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 no. Later, reading, and when I got heavily involved in the occult and I started reading up on things, my cousin became very fascinated with dreamwalking, and we were practicing together. She was my older cousin, cooler cousin that I looked up to. She's the one that got me into witchcraft, and she's like, let's practice this, and we mastered it together.
That's awesome. Oh my God, that's really cool. A lot of people don't have that. They don't realize, like, you have something like that happen as a kid, and it may happen several times, and then you just kind of shut it out because adult things happen, and you're like, oh. I know for me it was, going to school. I remember I'm in third grade. I'm on the playground with my best friend. And I was like, dude, we went to, y'all are going to laugh. We went to a Bengals concert last night together in my dream. And she was like, no way. She was like, I dreamed that too. And we were like on the swings, like matching up. And I remember this one boy walked by and he was like, y'all are weird, and so we just, giggled like third grade girls do. But I didn't think anything about it. And then it kept happening. And when we moved to Oklahoma from Colorado, that same friend, I had a dream about her, that I was in her dream and she was sitting on her bed crying, like, and I couldn't console her. Like, she couldn't see me. And so I mean, when I woke up the next day, I was like, Mom, we have to call Shannon. Like, I don't know what's wrong, but we have to call Shannon. And so, we called her, and her mom was like, yeah, she just lost her grandpa and she's really upset. And when I got on the phone with her, she was like, you were in my dream. And that I went and talked to my dad, and I told my dad, I was like, I think I'm broken. And he's like, what do you mean? Because I mean, I'm in like 7th grade, but his mom is Native. And so I grew up hearing about all this stuff. And I really legit thought I was like, something was wrong with me. I was like, something's wrong with me. Like, I went to Colorado in my sleep. I'm sorry, So a lot of people don't realize, and they don't have anybody to help them. And I think it's fantastic that you had somebody that was like, let's do this. Like, let's master this shit. So let's talk about the ethics of it, because that is a question that I don't like to tell other people their ethics, but at the same time, I'll tell people, if you don't want somebody doing that to you or your kid or your mom or your sister or your brother or your dad, like then maybe you don't need to be doing it to other people. Like I don't care how much you hate that bitch. Like, maybe don't do that. But so I've had my own experiences with some people that were very unethical. Um, I'm curious your take on it and how you feel about it.
I think it's a spiritual trespass. I think if you enter someone else's space, awake or asleep, it is just a violation of their privacy. It's the same thing as being a peeping Tom. If you were awake and you were looking in their windows and peeping on them, that's
Yes.
the same exact thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's the same exact thing. So I absolutely do not condone it. Now, I have reached out to a friend. So when I was a teenager, I had a friend that got pregnant and ran away from home. She came from a very strict upbringing and she was terrified to tell her
Aw.
parents that she was pregnant. So she just ran off with him and went to Florida. And then her mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. There were no cell phones then. This was the 90s,
Yeah.
right? So
The
I
best.
thought I would try it and I would try to get in contact with her and let her know, you got to come back. Your mom is sick. She may not survive. And I don't know how much longer I can keep your secret. You have to come home. And then, oddly enough, like just a few days later, and I wasn't sure if it worked or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
I still had not heard from her. Days had gone by. And then a few days later, in my dream, I heard ding dong, like repeatedly, right? And it woke me up out of my sleep, but I didn't hear it anymore. I looked out the window and she was walking through my front yard, big time pregnant, and I'm like, oh, she's here. So I ran down the steps and I was like, I just had a dream about you the other day. And she was like, I had a dream about you and my mom. Is my mom okay? And I'm like, yes, it worked. So yeah, that was the
See,
one time that I did it.
I mean, that's a little different though. I mean, it's not like you did it for different reasons. Like, hey, something's wrong. I mean, I 100% would have done the same thing. I don't think that's really crossing an ethical boundary at all. Is just like, hey, you need to talk to your mom. Like she's not doing very well. Um, I I actually knew someone, and we're gonna knew in the past tense, who was a very good friend of mine at the time, and had no idea that she was a dream walker. And until we started talking about, I don't remember, lucid dreaming or something one day, and she mentioned, "Oh yeah, I used to be able when I was a kid to go into my friends' dreams, and we would play. Like when we'd get grounded, that's what we would do." And I was like, "Oh, you're a dream walker," and she's like, I don't know what that is. So like she didn't even know she was. And then when she found out that she was, within just a few months, she showed up in my dreams twice, and I was like, no, mm-mm. And after this, guys, we are going to talk about like what you can do to kind of protect yourself from these wonderful people because they exist. But she told me this was kind of one of the things that ruined our friendship is I was having a lot of, due to, no matter what you think of it, I got against my better judgment the COVID shot, and a couple months later I had a fucking stroke. I had a couple mini strokes. And so she was like, yeah, I'm going to go into your mind and your heart and stuff when you're asleep and fix that. I'm like, yeah, don't, no, danger, Will Robinson, like absolutely not. But she 100% thought that was okay. And she was like, yeah, I've gone into my mom and all this stuff. And I'm like, we aren't friends. We aren't friends. If you think that's okay, we're not friends. So just so you guys know, they're listening, like I'm not telling you that. And Gina's not telling you stuff like this to scare you, but in a way, yes, kind of we are, because there are people that 100% think it's okay. Instead of just like, hey, your mom is sick, you might contact her. Hey, I really hate you, so I'm going to go in and do this. Like, there are people that think that's okay, and they practice that. So what are some of the things that you would recommend? Because I love that you grew up there with the Pennsylvania Dutch and all that stuff. So I'm curious what you recommend to help people kind of shut that out or combat against that.
I have a dream altar that I open up every single night before I go to sleep. So those tall dream armoires. I use the
Mm-hmm.
top part. I just flip it open. And it's got everything I need to protect me while I'm sleeping. Right. I also have sigils that are and I keep inside my pillow. So if I ever get stuck, I have that key in every single dream that I have. Every single dream. And I've had it for years. So whenever I need to get out of a situation, I use that key and it gets me out. Every single time.
I love
The
that.
key will start a car, it'll open a door, it'll open a window, it'll open anything to get me out.
Is that something that you and your cousin came up with, or how did you get the key?
So what we did was this is literally since the 90s. So we both picked a key
Mm-hmm.
from an antique shop and we cleansed it and then we started using it and tried to train ourselves to have it with us every single time we went to sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it started out with it being on my nightstand, then it went under my pillow. Now I literally put it inside my pillow and every time I get a new pillow, it comes out and it goes right back in that pillow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it took probably more than a year to train myself to always have that key. Always. It took a lot. We're talking every single night of
Mm-hmm.
practice, right? Just about to finally master the fact that you have a key. I used to have these reoccurring dreams of like zombies or
Yeah.
dangerous men chasing me, and that's why she was like, let's get a key to get us out of situations like that. Let's do that. So that's where it all started. And yeah, it never fails. It never fails. And when I have zombie dreams now, I'm just like, oh, man, whatever.
Bye,
You know?
bitch.
Right. Click, click.
I see, that's something I'm fascinated by that. I think that's fantastic. But before I talk about like the things that I do, so y'all listening can hear, I want to point out that she said it took a lot of discipline and it took a lot of working to do this. I think that people forget in the world of TikTok now and everything's instant. People forget that like you have to put in the time and effort. Like you can learn to lucid dream, you can learn to do these things, but you have to be willing to put that discipline in. So I love the idea of the key. Like, don't think I'm not gonna go find me. I've got to go to New Orleans this week, so like, don't think I ain't gonna look for a key while I'm down there. But y'all can learn to protect yourself, because I know, especially those of you guys that are newer, there's a lot of things you can do. And I also love that you said you have stuff under your bed. I have a grid, a crystal grid around my bed, like around the posts and everything. I also have a canopy bed, my dark gothic dream canopy bed from, when I was 8. But I have sigils drawn inside the canopy. So like it's literally a Faraday cage, basically, is what I built, a spiritual Faraday cage. But I have specific crystals, and I'll tell you guys some of the ones I have, because chances are you have them already. And if y'all have followed me for any length of time, you may have already heard me talk about the basics of this. But the first thing I start with is just a piece of selenite. It doesn't have to be a big one. It can be like little tiny. But at each of the sides of your bed and a piece of black tourmaline in the middle, you want to start making a grid. And I love that she has a sigil, things like that. You can incorporate everything into that. There are a lot of different herbs too. Mugwort is a fantastic one for dream work. Damiana is another one. But Dalmatian jasper is one of my favorites. I have a big piece beside my bed and I have 4 pieces under my bed. And for those of you guys that have kids that have nightmares, night terrors, etc., let them pick a piece of Dalmatian jasper, because that is what that's for, is night terrors and so on. So, you know what? When you were talking about having a dream altar, this is really funny, especially what you said you used. My favorite cousin, who was like that with you, your favorite cousin, the older cousin, she was super cool in the 90s. Like, I was like, huh, like she legit, I'm not kidding, looked like Madonna. Like she had the blonde hair and the boobs, and she looked like Madonna. Her name is Cameo. Like she's just hippie, cool, except it's opposite, where I'm the one that knows all the witchy shit, and she's like, help me with this. But she brought me, she gifted me one of our grandma's armoires, a big, huge mirrored thing that's velvet lined inside, and it's just been in my bedroom. I have not had anything to do with it. So I'm like, there's a reason we're talking about this today. Like, I appreciate it so much. But so I want to ask you, what do you tell parents that get in this same situation?
Well, to reduce nightmares, but you don't want to stop dreaming altogether, but you don't want to have night terrors and nightmares. Believe it or not, berries, sweet and peaceful dreams.
Really? I'm down.
Keeps away night terrors.
I'm down.
Strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, blueberries.
Oh no, that sounds terrible. Oh damn. No, no, don't make me do that. Really?
Yep. Yep. Pink and purple fruits,
Okay.
specifically berries.
Okay. So what other advice would you give them, like, aside from, what are your go-tos? I don't know if you have kids or not. I don't want to just like be like with all of your stuff.
Made it.
Mine are too. My youngest one is on her second year in college, so that's awesome. I'm totally in my 1995 witch era. And I'm not mad about it.
Right, exactly. Was that not one of the best years ever, though?
It was like my kid and I were having a conversation. We're going to go from witchy stuff to 90s, just so you guys know. Just hold on. We're on the roller coaster. So we were talking last night about some stuff, and I mentioned the 90s a lot, like some of the stuff, because I graduated in 95. So some of the stuff that I did in the 90s, and I was like, dude, it was fantastic. Like, no one had cell phones to record you doing stupid shit, so probably a good thing. But my kid said, it sounds like the 90s were really awesome. I was like, dude, they were. And then I thought,
Especially for music.
do we talk about the 90s in the way that our parents talked about the 60s? Because that's what I feel like.
We absolutely, it was the most iconic time. I went to a ton of shows. I graduated in '97. My first music festival was the, um, what is it called? What is it called? The Woodstock. It was Woodstock '94, and I was 15 years old.
I'm
I lied
jealous.
to my mom and told her I was going to see, and I got caught lying. And I was at Woodstock '94 at 15 years of age for 3 days. I got in so much trouble, but it was worth it.
I was going to say, was it worth it? Like,
Oh, it was worth it. It got me so addicted to music shows. I could not get enough after that. I couldn't get enough. I would go to all the shows. I feel like we're making history. We're making history at this show.
I mean, I love that, like, one of my favorite songs is Killing in the Name of from Rage Against the Machine, because there's nothing better than to drive through tiny town Oklahoma without blasting on your radio. But I love that is becoming a big thing again. And so my kid was asking me, how do you live in Oklahoma and you're, the way that you are? And I'm like, this right here. This like this is what everybody I knew listened to in the 90s was Nirvana and Rage Against the Machine and all those things. And so I love that stuff is coming back up. But my first music festival actually wasn't until I had graduated high school. And there used to be a thing here called Edge Fest. The big radio station would put it out. And it was like Presidents of the United States of America and Sugar Ray and like all these things like that. Man, that was the shit. It was like the big, huge festival. There's people pooping out there and people throwing up over there and people moshing. And that's also when I found out that I'm not a mosh pit kind of person. I got kicked in the face and I was like, and I'm not doing that again. Like, I'm too little. I'm not doing that again. But I'll be back here. I'll be back here.
I've had my neck cracked from like someone crowd surfing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was a tidal wave of a body just crack right in the
Nope.
neck.
I was going to ask if you were a mosh pit girl.
I was a tour merch girl.
Gotcha.
Years.
Yep.
Years. I used to run the merch stand. My ex was in a metal band and we traveled all over Germany, Finland, Sweden, Norway, Canada, everywhere.
That's cool as fuck.
So much. Oh my! It was the most fun ever. It was the most fun ever.
That's cool as fuck. I am that person. The very first thing I do when I get to a concert is I hit the merch table. Like, that's the first thing I do is, and I usually pay well, depending on who it is, I'll pay for a VIP ticket or something where I can get in. Like, I want to be first because I want the shirt I want. Like, I want the shirt. I pay for it just for that. But so yeah, that, and for some reason I collect coffee cups, and I don't know why. I am that weird lady now. I've realized I have a ton of concert T-shirts and hoodies and bags and jackets and coffee cups. I, when I die, y'all can pick what you want. You want the Stevie Nicks jacket or the mug from Tombstone? Like, what you want?
It's gonna be a fight. Don't even put up a will. Just let 'em come in and fight.
You know what? I think that is an epic idea because my sister is deathly afraid of clowns, and so I have it written in my will that during my funeral there has to be somebody in a clown suit just sitting in the back by themselves. And I also have asked for a costume funeral, that people cannot come to my funeral all sad and shit like that, that they must come in costume. I don't care what costume, but you got to come in costume. Like I also told my kid, I was like, I'm going to create like a Harry Potter like Horcrux thing so I can come and watch, cuz I want to make sure all you bitches are in costume. So, we're going to have WWE over all the cool shit. Y'all can just fucking King of the Cage fight it out kind of shit. So, I got to ask about your tree in the back because it's phenomenal and I love it.
A cute little Halloween tree.
I love it.
Oh, thank you. It has a bunch of vintage style Halloween, like, show ya. It's got like all the vintage Halloween decor. That's what all the ornaments are, and little rubber bats.
Oh my God, where did you find those?
Online somewhere.
Those are phenomenal.
Shopping at night. That's a problem. That's talk about needing to use some wild violence to break bad habits. Would be my online shopping at night and day. You know, sometimes
Yeah.
you have to sleep. You don't know what you're doing. There's a box 3 days later. You're like, oh, what's this? I don't know. Oh my gosh, you have those ornaments I bought.
I feel so called out. I'm like, just don't look at the camera. Like, just don't look at the camera.
I try to promote a lot of stores on Etsy and Poshmark and
Mhm.
stuff like that. I love thrifting. I'm
Same.
thrifting. Obsessed, right? I try not to promote large corporations, right? I wanna cater to small business, women-owned business, things like that. I try.
Yeah. I have really tried in my time on TikTok to not promote anything. Like unless I actively like am addicted to that, like the Dave's Toffee. Fuck y'all for creating that because I cannot get enough of it. And I will sit and eat a whole bag, like, and it's every flavor I've had is phenomenal, but my favorite is like the coconut pretzel. And so I'm like, please have that back in stock because I need 9 bags. Like, please. So, but I don't promote it. I just inhale it. But the changes that TikTok has done lately, and I don't know if you caught on or not, but I got really pissed last night and with some stuff that I've noticed with my analytics and my videos and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, bitches, all right, okay.
It just came up in conversation, like an hour before this started.
Mhm.
I noticed, like, if you use the word witch or magic or spiritual or name a goddess or something, you're lucky if you get 100 views.
Yep.
You're lucky.
Yep.
Right? If you don't use any hashtags like that, like, for example, Diane Keaton passed away yesterday.
Mhm. I know.
It's heartbreaking. She was amazing. She was a fashion icon.
Yeah.
Fashion icon, big time. Goofy, cute, sweet. But within like an hour, it got almost 100 likes. Like the first hour, it's like, 500-600 views. And something that I posted the day before, which I try to do one video a day, but literally did not even get 100 views on it. The last I checked, it was 64 views when I was having this conversation, right?
Mhm.
And I'm like, that's because it's hashtag witch something, this, that, and the third.
Mhm.
They're
Yep.
trying to suppress us.
Yep. Yeah, I've noticed like I try to post between like 4:30 and 5:30 my time because that's, when according to the things when most of the people are on. But I have some videos that the last 3 days, the videos I posted have gotten 500 views. Like 500-600 views and I'm like, the fuck? So that promoted me to look at analytics and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay. 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 I see you. I see you over there. Like, I see you.
That's right.
So all,
I'm a FYP.
my Lilith is in Capricorn, so that like I have so many Capricorn placements. I'm like, all right, all the petty, all the grudge just happened.
I am a Capricorn.
Same. I was fixing to ask you what your sign was. Yeah, I love me some Capricorns. I'm like, all right, let's be Pinky in the brain over here, like, or you be Mr. Burns and I'll be. I don't care. Like, let's do that. So, are you a December or a January Capricorn?
January.
What day?
17th.
I'm the 12th. So, okay.
Oh, we're pretty close.
Yeah.
We're pretty close.
So you have some Aquarius traits too. So if you're really close. Okay.
Yep. I developed all the crazy from both sides. Absolutely. 100%. Yep. Nothing really scares me. Like, haunted houses, horror movies, a spirit walking around the house. Nothing really scares me.
To be honest, I think that in my opinion, most Capricorns are not easily scared. Most Capricorns are not. I am that person. I don't go to haunted houses because I get punchy. You jump scare me, and I'm like I'm not going to hit you hard because I've got carpal tunnel. I mean, but I might kick you in the leg. Like that. I always wear boots, so I got you. But most Capricorns I know are not scared of shit. They're more like, I don't have time for you to do that to me right now. Like, let's schedule a time tomorrow at 4:30 that you can scare me, or you can try to scare me. That's funny. I love that you're January Capricorn. That makes me so happy. I'm gonna have to let you know when I'm up there next, and we should go Pennsylvania thrift shopping. Like,
Yes.
I mean, I'm just saying.
There's this place you gotta go to. It's the antique capital of the nation.
Stop it.
In Adamstown, Pennsylvania.
Stop
And every 4 months they do an antique extravaganza. It is like an 11-mile stretch of one road that has nothing but antique shops.
Stop it.
Nothing but antique and thrift shops. Some of them specialize in furniture. Some of them have a bunch of glass windows. Some of them is all Pennsylvania Dutch folk art and all of that stuff. And my favorite one is the Mad Hatter. It used to be a hat factory. It's massive. It's massive.
Stop it.
Find anything and everything in there for super cheap. Because there's so many thrift shops and antique shops on this strip. They're competing with all the other stores, so they're not going to have anything overpriced.
Yeah, right.
Let's do it.
I'm like, okay.
Empty your trunk. Empty your trunk.
There are a lot of thrift shops in Missouri that I try to hit when I go through, like thrift shop and antique shops. And there's if you ever get down to Amarillo, which no offense, Texas, but I don't know why you'd go to Amarillo if you ain't working on the pipeline. But Cadillac Ranch is there. That's fun. Don't go in the winter because your fingers will freeze to the damn spray paint can. But there is a place there called the Nat, N-A-T, and it has a really crazy ass history. But dude, that's one of my favorite thrift shops. Like when I go through Amarillo, I'm like, do I have time? Do I have space? Like, do I have space in the car? Everything from like working 1950s radios, like the gorgeous big Art Deco neon, to bones. Like, I mean, literally anything you could think of. It's insane. It's insane. And it used to be a pool, an indoor pool, like where people could go and swim and so on. And then they decided and they had a floor that came out, and it would turn from the pool into a dance hall. And it's crazy. You can be in there and hear people walk up behind you and turn around because you think nobody's behind you. Like, it's awesome. It's really, really cool. It has a really sordid history, and it's yeah. I tend to find a lot of places like that. But now I'm mad that it's about to be winter time and I want to go thrift shopping in Pennsylvania. I'm like, damn it. I want to go thrift shopping in Pennsylvania.
There's heat in the car. Everything's fine. 4-wheel drive. Snow tires were good, right?
I mean, Bernadette is, all-wheel drive, four-wheel when needed. So I'm just saying, like, we're gonna talk after this. Like, we're gonna talk after this, and we're gonna have to make a thrift shop play date when I'm up there next. So I'm just saying. I do have a big event in May, on the 1st of May for Bieltana, that if you would like to come, I would be happy to have you as a guest.
Oh, in Pittsburgh.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
In May.
It's a 3-day event, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. We will have a maypole and a big bonfire and all the things.
Oh, that sounds beautiful. Let's talk about that. I'm totally down for that.
So I would love that. I think, especially if you're familiar with the area and from there and so on, I would absolutely love to have you.
Yes.
So, well, guys, I know that we hit it really hard and then got off the rails, went to the 90s, to thrift shops, to back and forth. And I mean, I feel like if y'all are watching this, then you're probably pretty neurospicy anyway. And that just made your brain happy that we talked about 95 different topics all at once. But I hope that if y'all have any dreamwork questions, if y'all have any things like that, reach out to Gina, reach out to me, both of us, I don't care. In the description, you're going to find all of the goodies. Make sure you follow her everywhere, because I know that you want to. I see a lot of you in the comments have already said, oh, I followed her. So make sure that you follow her everywhere, because, I mean, let's face it, we don't know what the old tickety-tockety is ever going to do at any point in time. So follow all your favorite creators everywhere, and even the ones you hate, follow them too. Like, even the ones you hate, like, you gotta be a petty bitch and follow everybody everywhere. So anyway, I love you guys. Y'all have a good rest of your Sunday. Go thrift shopping today. That's your spiritual assignment from the punk rock witch and the Blue Bodhi. Go thrift shopping today.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. I would love to have you back on as well, and we'll have to talk about maybe some baneful shit. Ooh, we should do it. We'll do a secret one that's not live, so that way we ain't got to worry about what we say.
So you can edit it.
Oh, I don't edit shit. I don't edit shit. I'm like, what you see is what you get, man. Like, yeah.
I love it. I love it.
All right, guys. We will see y'all later.